What's up guys, my name is Gary and you're watching Gary Mason Travels. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different for you. I wanted to take you out into the wilds of London and we was all going to sit around in some calm oasis somewhere and talk about why the northeast of India absolutely rocks, which it does. And I had this whole idea in my head that it was nice and bright and sunny, and I thought today's the day I branch out and I give you something special. It didn't happen. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. It clouded over immediately. I couldn't escape the sound of sirens and helicopters and screaming children, and I never really noticed how loud it is here in London actually until you try and film somewhere quietly. So you're stuck with this. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to try again next time, but it was futile. Whole day of filming, nothing, niche. So anyway, talking to you today about the northeast of India and why it is so good and why you should be thinking about going to visit there. And I recommend this for the more adventurous of you. And it really is something special. It really is something special. And this is the first part of a 4-part series that I'm going to do to help you get the most out of your time and money. But this episode is mostly just about whetting your appetite and making you think to yourself, maybe I can get something special out of there. And if you consider yourself the adventurous type, then do watch on and watch to the end so you can really get a feel of what's on offer here. And if you like my content and you're finding it useful and it has inspired you, then do me a favour and just give me a thumbs up. That's a big help for me. And also, if you could just go ahead, smash that subscribe button. That's all I ask for all of the free advice that I hand out. And for me to be able to hand out this free advice is cost me a lot of money, a lot of pain and a lot of mistakes. And it's always better to learn from someone else's mistakes, isn't it? If you can. I mean, more often than not, you hear about somebody else's mistakes and then you go and do it yourself. That's just being a human being. But if you can learn from my mistakes, then I implore you to do so. Because everything that I do, I write is sincere, it is honest, is well researched, and it actually happened to me. I think the best place to start is to talk about the 7 sisters and what makes them so special. Now the simple answer is, of course, they're in the northeast of the country. And that's true, but it's not as simple as that. They are in a very unique position because there is a lot of outside influences coming in from every direction. Before we even take a look at the states, you've got to see what's going on from the outside in. You've got this small conglomerate of states sitting there in the middle of so many different influences. I mean, to the north you've got Bhutan and you've got Tibet, so that's very unique, very different from Indian culture. All that's all pouring in. To the left you've got Myanmar or Burma, whatever you want to call that, and that's a whole nother subcontinent. So again, this little area is sort of merging in with a whole new subcontinent. You really get a feel that's what's going on. And to the south you've got Bangladesh, which is very unique and very different from India. And to the left you've got this left. Then you've got more of Bangladesh, and then you've got this really skinny sort of stretch of land called the Siliguri corridor that connects to a town, surprisingly enough, called Siliguri, and then past there you've got Nepal. So you've got a lot going on here before we even look at that. And the states themselves are incredibly culturally diverse. There are 200 distinct tribes and some of them are super distinct. You will be hard pressed to see such impressive tribal culture in the world today. And then you've got all your Christians, Hindus, Muslims, and they all live together in this little tiny space. And you can appreciate that this is mind-bending for you to come and visit. And the Indian government has had these set of permits on there that has not allowed tourists to come up for a very long time. And in the past few years, these permits have been dropped in all but Arunachal Pradesh and theoretically Nagaland, although when I visited no one checked nothing, but apparently they are there. In Arunachal Pradesh it's quite pricey, but I will get into that in the next video. So now you've got these fragile tribal cultures that are now open to tourism, so you do have to tread very carefully and be very ethical, because these tribal cultures are now meeting the modern world in a very awkward fashion, in my opinion. I mean, it's every last little thing that you do has an impact. Just remember that. And what I love most about the northeast of India as a foreign backpacker is it's one of the last places in the world where you can get some real adventure. You know, I like pretty hardcore adventure. It's my thing, you know. And in this world today, it's getting harder and harder to find as everything progresses into the future. There are less and less opportunities that you can get out of a place like the northeast. So if you consider yourself the adventurous type, then there is a chance that this is for you and you are watching the right video. And so far, I've only spoken to you about the tribal cultures and the surrounding countries, and that's what makes it special. But there's more. There's even more. That's the ludicrous thing. It's not just that. It's the landscapes and the wildlife. What's that? What's that? You think you're going to get one of those snappy productions that I like to do whenever I talk about wildlife, because I'm a wildlife enthusiast. Self-confessed, guys. Love it. Love it. Well, put your curiosities aside, because here it is. The landscapes are just as rich and varied as the culture to be found in this incredible corner of the universe. From the snowy peaks of the mighty Himalaya to the steaming jungles below. Vast rivers run like arteries across the land, breathing life into the tea plantations that have become so iconic. There are over 300 species of mammal to be found, including 15 species of primate. Some are so rare they can be found nowhere else in the world. There are also 836 species of bird that come in every conceivable form. Even if you are not an avid ornithologist, their beauty is simply undeniable. You also have the chance to find any of the 23 species of lizard or 29 species of snake. While there are only 23 species of amphibian that call this fragile ecosystem home, they are no less magnificent for it. Life comes in every conceivable form, from the smallest creature to the mightiest megafauna. All call northeast India home. The wilds of northeastern India will blow you away, and it's all just waiting here for you to explore. So what are you waiting for? Very happy man right now, very happy man. I hope you enjoyed watching that half as much as I enjoy making them, because I'm going to continue to make them pretty much whenever I talk about something that I'm especially passionate about, and wildlife and the beautiful landscapes is certainly something. So you can see there is a number of reasons why this place grips me, and it is very hardcore to visit. Everything happens in time, not on time. So when you schedule your itinerary, remember to be liberal with how much time you can spare when you visit up there. I mean, to put it into perspective, there are mountains up there that do not have names. Imagine that in today's age. There's very seldom do you see such a thing. So if you think this is for you, then I implore you to watch the next video. The next video is going to be about making the most of your time and money. It is super important. I hope you enjoyed this production, even if it's not for you. And at least now you know it's not. And if it is, I shall see you very soon.